Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is Colton and today Zac will be showing you how we made this heart-inspired soap for our March Lucky Charm soap. This soap uses Love Spell from Brambleberry and it is just a really nice, good kind of summation of anything you think of when you're thinking of like Valentine's, hearts, those sorts of things. So stay tuned to see how we make this really cool heart-inspired soap. Alrighty, let's let Zac take this soap making away. So he will start out making our soap base just like always. This is our standard RainBro Crafts soap base. It is a custom oil blend, and then there's lye water and sodium lactate added to it. You blend that up with your stick blender till it is a light trace, basically so you can't see any oil on the top. That shows that everything is blended nicely together. And then we will strain in our colloidal oatmeal slurry. You just strain it in to get out any lumps and clumps that is in the slurry. You technically don't have to do a slurry. It just makes it easier to not have any big chunks of colloidal oatmeal in the finished soap bar, so it just gives it a nice finished appearance when you go and cut the soap. And then for this particular soap design, Zac is going to portion off a small amount. Those are 1 cup glass measuring cups there. So a cup of soap base, unscented, into the some like blush pink mica, and then pour in our fragrance oil, which is Love Spell by Brambleberry, and also some rose clay. That's why that is red. The fragrance oil is not red. And we wanted to do rose clay because it is pink color, so it gives it a natural pink colorant to the soap, and this bar is inspired by the heart marshmallow in Lucky Charms, so obviously we were going to pick red for that. We will then blitz that up really quickly to get everything nice and incorporated. We don't want to blend it up too much though, because this is a triple layer soap design. So you guessed it, Zac is going to portion off 1/3 of that soap base, just colored with that rose clay, into our slab mold there. After about 1/3 of that soap base is poured into this slab mold, he will put a little bit of some nice maroon Merlot colored mica suspended in a little oil into the soap base and blend that up as well. We wanted to do a gradient design from a lightish pink all the way to a darker pink, and I'll put a picture of my Procreate drawing in the corner here so you can see what the inspiration was for me. And then we are going to do a gold mica line between the layers. So we had a little bit of an issue with the gold mica initially, so I kind of skipped over most of that. But Zac is just going in with a tea strainer and some gold mica to do a nice kind of as even as possible coat. You don't want to do too much mica though, because it can affect the adherence between the 2 layers of soap, and then your soap bar will crack down the middle. After the base is set up just a little bit, Zac is going to go ahead and pour off another 1/3 of the soap base. This fragrance oil was another one, just like the horseshoe inspired soap that we made last week, and I'll put a link up in the corner here. It was really well behaved. It didn't accelerate that much. To that remaining soap base, Zac added the remaining dark pink mica and is just stirring that in, making sure it is well incorporated so it is a nice even color. And then we will pour some more gold mica onto the soap that's in the slab mold to do a final gold mica line there. It does look like we're using a lot of gold mica, but we're not. We just had a lot of jars that had just a little bit of gold mica left in them, so we're kind of just burning through those. You really don't use as much as what it is looking like here. And then once that layer is nice and shimmery, we will pour the remaining soap batter into the slab mold, again using the scraper to break the fall there. And we'll just scrape out that container because we're not coming back to it. This is the final layer of soap, but we will have one additional little kind of bonus on the top here in a couple seconds. Off camera, Zac actually divided the top of the soap into thirds, so basically the size of loaves. So that's what those lines are there on screen now. And then he will put little dollops of that pink soap base that is unscented down the whole length of the soap loaf and kind of offset them so it's like 1 drop per bar. The reason that we didn't want to use fragrance in this is that even though the fragrance oil said it behaved well, you never actually know, and behaved well could mean it didn't accelerate. So we wanted to give this the best chance of working possible, which is why it is just the pink mica and the soap base. And then once all those dollops are down, Zac will take a wooden dowel and drag it through each of the dots. Once he gets more towards the middle of the slab, you can see that they turn into little hearts, and we will just go through and do that with the whole entire soap slab here. I will put it into time-lapse mode here very shortly, so you don't have to watch us do this for all of the soap, because while it doesn't take a long time, it is not necessarily the quickest in terms of designs for the top of soap, but it is super cute, and it is a really nice way to add a little bit of like a Valentine's inspired design to the top of your soap. It also is something we hadn't ever done before, which is always fun. The main risk you run with this is that you either poured off too much soap batter and then you just have extra, which I think we ended up with a little bit extra, or even worse, you don't have enough to finish the tops of the soap, and so you just have some that are kind of bald. We didn't have that issue, like I said. And then once all those dollops are on there, he will just go back in with the chopstick wooden dowel and complete the top of the soap, making those little kind of artistic, kind of painterly hearts there. And then once that is done, we will clean up the side of the slab mold, spritz it with some rubbing alcohol, put a lid on it, and let it sit for 24 hours until we are ready to slice it up. And then anytime you're doing like a layered soap like this is really like the moment of truth to see, did my layers work out how I was wanting them to? Did the mica lines, like, are they visible? And the answer to both of those questions in this instance are yes, both of those things worked. The mica lines, the layers, it did exactly what we were wanting it to do, which is great. And I think I've mentioned this before, but for pink soap in particular, it is hard to make it not look like vegan bacon. I don't think this soap looks like vegan bacon, and I want to say it's because we did not add any white to the soap to make it look kind of like the little like fat swirls, air quotes fat swirls in soap. This definitely doesn't smell like bacon, vegan or otherwise, and I don't think it looks like bacon at all. We are going to slice all of these up really quickly, but this is not the end of the soap making process for this particular soap, because we will also be stamping our soap with some mica to give it a little extra flair. Like I've mentioned in the past, when you are stamping soap, it is easiest and gives you the best results to stamp the soap right after you slice it, because there is still like surface moisture on the bars of soap, and so the mica kind of adheres better to the soap, and then it kind of sticks better, so you don't have mica kind of fluffing all over the place like you would if you were trying to stamp into a dry soap. You can still do that, it just doesn't work quite as well as with this. And then we just have some of that really pretty like Trixie Mattel pink there of mica, and we're just dipping each of the rubber stamps in, getting a nice like layer, and then pressing it in pretty gently because the soap is still pretty soft. And we'll just repeat that for all of the bars of soap. You'll just want to knock off the excess mica there. And the best thing to do, and while we don't like to do like one-use wrappings or things like that, is actually to use a paper towel or a napkin to kind of grip onto the mica, it is the best thing. Towels, it kind of absorbs too much. A paper towel or a napkin works the very, very best that we have found. And that's a tip that Katie Carson of Royalty Soaps says when she does this as well. This is a really cute, simple, cheap way to add a little extra something to your soap. The rubber stamps that I'm using here, we just got from Michael's. It was like a 4-pack for like $5 or something. So for $5, and you can just keep reusing these, you just wash them off. I wouldn't use ones that you've actually used for ink, but for the mica ones, you just rinse them off with some soapy water and they are good to go and they will last you forever, really. And then we are just about finished. Like I mentioned, this soap is the Hearts Charm inspired soap from the Lucky Charms collection, which will be for sale starting March 1st online and in person. And we do have a lot of March in-person events in the Vancouver area. So definitely check out our website if you want to see these in person, or grab them online while supplies last, because we do have pretty limited stock of all of our March collections. I want to give a big shout out to all of our subscribers who get candles of the month or soaps of the month from us. They make this channel possible and we really appreciate each and every one of them. If you're interested in this, check out our website, rainbrocrafts.com, for more details. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see what RainBro Crafts comes up with next. Bye.